we are back. We had some technical difficulties, so we had to cut it up. But we're back. We were gonna let Sweets keep talking about his future, but Tyson insisted that it wasn't important. So that's where we are. Tyson's
crazy.
feeling
Big Sweets. Is that what happened?
No, that's not what happened.
What?
But he didn't say it wasn't important.
He said we got enough of that.
We got
right?
enough of that. Yeah.
It felt disrespectful.
I think
Was it disrespectful?
I feel like it was.
I feel like you did a great job of explaining everything that you were.
Well, then
doing.
why didn't we get it? Why did we have
I feel
enough
like it
of
was explained.
If he was doing so good,
Yeah,
then
he
why
explained
don't
it
we
very
let him
thoroughly.
I'm all for Sweets getting more.
He explained
airtime.
it very thoroughly. I'm saying we probably got enough of his job. He can keep talking, but we know what he's doing.
What are you gonna do, Wyatt?
Oh man, I'm gonna be a football player and I guess do this on the side for now. Nah, dude, I'm a football player in school. You're talking, all right, well, what's the question? What's the question?
What's your end goal?
The end goal.
Yeah.
The end goal for me at this point right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm putting everything I have into this football game.
That's what. So what's the? I know we just said what's the end goal.
Well, why not shoot for the stars with it, right?
I'm asking you. Why are you
I'm
asking
telling you
me?
what the answer is.
All right, what is it? You said you're asking. You just asked me a question. You said why not shoot for the stars?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So explain that.
I'm shooting for the motherfucking stars, dude. I'm going. All right. You know what my goal is right now?
Yeah.
To be the greatest offensive lineman that Division II has ever seen. That's my goal, and to win a national championship. That's my goal.
Nice.
That's what I'm thinking. Anything after that, that's a different life, bro. It really is to me. That's how I'm living. I'm living this one day at a time, for real. Like that's what I'm on.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, we were talking. I was gonna try to save it for Mike's pod, but whatever, dude. We'll find more stuff to talk about. Like just winning every day and treating every day separate. You know what I mean? Like each day is its own little project. You know what I mean? Like you walk away from the day, and with me, like I measure it. I measure my days of success with my weight. Because I'm constantly trying to be. Right now, I'm still trying to cut to get down to what I want to be. Just because I'm ruled out for the spring, so I want to be healthy. So I'm trying to get down to what a healthy weight would be at my age or whatever. So I'm trying to get down to like 295. For me, that's what I feel like I'll be healthy at. So, but for me, it's winning and losing, right? So every day I wake up and I weigh myself.
What is the end game,
boy,
though?
Boy, he's lighting ass.
What's the end game, though?
That's not
He
why
said
you
he said he wasn't ready.
I'm not even worried about that. That's a separate life. That is future Wyatt's problem. That's what I'm telling you. I got 2 more years to be right here. That's what I'm doing.
Is Tanner paying attention?
I don't know.
I thought we were going into like the end goal.
Right, and I'm saying for me, the
I know,
end
he
goal
went off on some-
for me,
he's
for
going
me
off
right
on
now.
some
So
weird-
here's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
here's
going
how
off on
here's
some
how I
weird-
look at it.
I know,
right?
he's just going
so,
off some
so
weird
if my life,
tangent
if my
right
life was a book, right, it would be set in 2 volumes. It would be the first volume would be the first volume would be up until I win a national championship my last year of college football. And then everything after that would be a separate book. So I'm telling you, I don't know what the next book's going to look like. I have no idea.
But you're the
Right?
author of that.
I am. But as of right now, I have no idea what that book's going to look like. I'm telling you how the ending of this book is going to go for me. In my
You're
head.
telling you how the ending of this book?
The ending of the first volume is
Oh,
going to go. I'm going to win a national championship wearing a Shepherd jersey. And I'm going to give Coach McCook a big old hug. And I'm going to talk my shit to you because I did that shit and you didn't. And I'm going to be like, unless you got a time machine, you can't get that.
Crazy. He said you threw 48 interceptions.
I didn't say that. Sweets was shocked at that number. I was like, oh, dude, he was a 4-year starter. Give him a break. And Sweets was like, nah, fuck that. Tyson's terrible.
You can't cuss, bro. This is literally professors and teachers and coaches will see this.
There's not.
It's
I'm
wrong
not
with you.
affiliated. I'm not affiliated. I'm my own person.
Shepherd EDU.
Do you know how? Do you know what's crazy? Do you know how hard it is for me to not cuss when I do the Wyatt Wednesdays? Is that terrible? Is that a bad thing that I can't?
Well,
can
no,
barely
because
do
I
those?
wouldn't have thought that unless you just told me.
Right. No, but is that a bad thing? You think that I can't? Like I'm that bad at talking without cussing that it's like, yeah, dude, that's probably not good.
Low IQ.
Low IQ? Is that what that means? Or is that just some bullshit you're making?
Nah, that's like
That's a stat.
Yeah.
It's a terrible stat.
Statistic.
There you go. Get it out.
Sorry, bro. You can cuss, bro. I won't judge you. I won't judge you, bro.
Don't touch me, bro.
I won't judge you.
Don't touch me.
I won't judge you, bro. I don't care.
Me, bro. Real gangster coming from California.
Guarantee you did that in the first
America,
episode.
motherfucker. And I didn't do it in the first episode.
Gee whiz.
I didn't do it in the first. That's Nate Diaz, everybody. Dude, get your hand off your face. Look at you. You're a mess. You're a mess. You're a mess. Sweets has left us, everybody.
Did he leave for good?
Probably.
Wow.
Probably. That's how this goes, dude. That's how Edges went too.
Wow.
Yeah. He said 10 o'clock. It's 9:41. He's got things to do, man. He's got a life to
no
live.
way. He left early.
He's got a life to live.
All right, let's go. Ask me something. Fire one at me.
Okay. Here's one that me and Sweets were talking about that I think is a pretty wild concept. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on it. We were talking about how, like, actually, I know that you're going to be with this. We were talking about, like, if you're chasing a money amount, like, in life, you're never going to be successful. Mm-hmm. But if you chase success and you treat the people around you the right way, and you are respectful and network the right way and promote yourself and focus on building yourself as a brand and, like, being a successful person, whatever that means to you, that you will find more success in this life naturally. Because, like, you'll encounter, like, so the example we were talking about is, like, with Tanner, he's got this job right now where he helps out with that way. Anyway.
All right, so
What we were talking about is, like, he got that opportunity just because he's a nice person and he made a connection with the father or whatever through his mom, and it's like he's got a crazy good job. He makes a really good money, and it's like he has fun doing it. The dude that he's babysitting is a really nice guy. I've met him before, super cool dude, and it's like it's a great deal. But he only has that because he's, like, been a good person, and he's, like, you know what I mean, like that's all through a connection, like networking. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you go out and apply for a job like that. Like, that's the type of thing that it's like a blessing that just kind of shows up. Yeah. And, like, in life, like, especially now, but, like, in life, like, now that you're doing so well in football, like, we talked about the other day, like, your net worth has naturally increased. Just by you're not really doing a whole bunch of, like, working for money. It's just, you get a lot of stuff for free. You get all these clothes and stuff for free everywhere you go. Right, like, people are throwing stuff at you just by you my point is if you just work hard enough in the things that you care about and chase that success, the money and everything else just kind of falls into place. Like, and 100%. I would, 100%.
100%. That's like the law of attraction. That's like just a whole manifestation gig of, like, your thoughts are like a real thing. So, like, you'll be able to understand the feeling and what comes with it better if you're constantly thinking about it. Like, I don't know why. I've always thought that I was going to play in the league.
Really?
Yeah, always.
Since, like, a little
literally kid. Since I was a little, that feeling that I had when I was a little kid, I always knew.
You know what? That's wild, because there was a period of time, like, once I got, because, like, everyone, I feel like,
oh, dude, I watched everybody lose it.
I watched every. I lost it for a while, and now I'm trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
Later in my life, because I'm telling you, like, that's like, because I don't want to think past these next 2 years. So that's got to be my goal, right? Is to just try to make that happen. And I don't know that it really is, but I'm putting everything I got into it right now.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like it's hard for me because I have that doubt, because for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been telling myself that that's not really the mission anymore. And the mission is just to kind of have success at Shepherd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like now I'm trying to rekindle that to be like, well, dude, you know what? I've seen worse. I've seen people my size at least be practice squad guys. Maybe I can go sneak out a little contract there for a couple years, make 6 figures for a couple years, then go do whatever I want. And then I can say I did it, right? I can say I chased my dreams.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to meet my higher power and then have to be like, and have to look him in the eye and be like, I had the opportunity to pull the trigger and try to do my best, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible, dude. That's a scary thought.
I know, and I feel like now I'm at the point where, like, if it happens, I'm gonna be awesome, and if it doesn't happen, I know my life's gonna be awesome.
Right. That's
so
what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
now I'm just like out there, just like,
yeah,
I'm just doing my thing.
Right.
Like,
because at least you can die knowing that you gave it everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As long as I'm prepared, I'm pretty chill.
Right. You know, I saw a really cool Khabib quote the other day. He was talking about, like, when he was talking to Islam before before his fight against Oliveira. And he was like, "Oh, like you nervous?" And he's like, "Are you nervous?" And he's like, "Yeah, like I'm nervous." And he's like, "Don't be nervous." He goes like, "Allah already knows what will happen." He's like, "It's not up to you. You trained, you did your best, you've put everything you had into this. Win or lose, you wake up tomorrow, life goes on. Like Allah knows what will happen. It's in His hands now. Like go out there and you trust in your preparation, trust in what you've been doing." Right? Know that you've done everything that you possibly can, if you have, right? And that's where you got to get yourself. And it's all preparation. Everything in life is preparation. Because if you, like, even right now, right? Like, we were joking around, but I prepare for this. I got to have something in front of me so I know if I get stuck, I have something to talk about. Everything is preparation. So, and I got to trust in that, like, even though this is a way smaller example than a championship fight where you're putting your life on the line, it's like the same concept, right? If I want this to be any good, or I want to be able to look myself in the eye in the mirror after this podcast, I got to be able to say that I gave this everything I had, and I'm trying to make this as entertaining for me when I watch it again, and for anyone else who wants to try to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that that's the case. So it's like in everything you do, you just got to be prepared, and then that way, if you show up to everything fully prepared, then you can have that conversation with yourself before you do whatever you're doing, before you run that 40-yard dash, before you make that walk down to the cage, before you step onto the field, before you step into the classroom before a test, before you step into a job interview. You know what I mean? You can tell yourself, look, it's in His hands now, whatever you believe in. And if you don't believe in anything, that's fine. The same concept is there. It's what you did beforehand that's going to get you whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, how do I want to word this? I feel like God has provided me with the resources.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be the bare minimum or the maximum, right? And a lot of times it was the minimum since I was in this area. And then whether that just be athletes, coaching, facility, all of that stuff, right? So I feel like God provides you with the resources and the option to choose to do what you do and still give you a little pathway to success in it.
Yeah.
But then after that, I feel like it's all in your hands. And that's why I feel like people do better in different stages of their life or become good people at different stages in their life. Like some people become good people when they're 40. Some people are born good people. Some people don't become a good person until they're 75. Some people, it's when they go to college. Like all these things, right? So I feel like that's why there are like certain people in every generation that hit their good person time. And then they're like praised for it because everybody else hasn't entered their time yet. Right. So it's like sensational that that person is able to be a good person.
Is in that time now.
Despite all the evil that's going on, it's cool to see that person is actually is actually 10 toes behind what he's saying and like has meaning in his life and like cares about the things that a man cares about. And like just does it by the book. And you got the other people who are cheating, lying, and stealing and blackmailing and cheating their way, right? The unnoble way. You got that one dude who does it the right way, and then it's like, yo, oh my gosh. Like, so like, that's why I feel like God provides you with it, but then it's up to you, like, how you're going to use it. Like, everybody has the ability to be a really good person.
That's what I'm saying.
Not everybody are really good people. Everybody has the option to play football. At the highest level, but then it's all about like how will you use the resources? Like how are you going to use it? And so I don't know, and it's all the mindset too, because I'm like I could just be saying all this dumb stuff because I am able to think this way, and if you can't think this way, then you have no clue. Right. So it's like maybe I'm just
lost in your own mind.
Maybe my opinion isn't really the good one. Just because nobody else is on the level I'm on. Like, there obviously are. There obviously are a lot of people way more higher IQ than me. Way more understanding. But I feel like I feel like the way I think about things since having like an opinion on a lot of stuff, since I've been able to form my opinions and stuff, I feel as if my way, there's no other, like it's amazing to me that people think a different way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, everything I do, it equals exactly what I like.
Right.
It all makes sense.
You live the life that, and honestly, dude, like a lot of it I picked up from you and like all of you guys. Like we've talked about this before. Like you alone have been a part of changing my life around, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot of it was almost like your absence once you guys all left, and I realized, hey, I'm the oldest guy in the room. I'm supposed to start taking care of these young dudes, right? But it's the same concept of now you live that mentality of like you get out what you put in. Right, and I think that is one of the best mentalities you can have, and it's like we were talking about before, right? Everybody, you got the tools, whether you like it or not. You have the tools to be successful, at least physically, right? Like you don't need anything to train. Push-ups do not require equipment. You know what I mean? Like jumping rope, not really. You know what I mean? There are ways to get around it. There are plenty of exercises you can do with no equipment at all. Like the tools to be successful are always around you. It's just whether or not you actually do them. Yeah. And it's like, it's one thing to talk like you and me do and have those feelings. And again, I know we were busting my balls. I skipped today, but I've been going to the stream religiously. You know what I mean? And it's stuff like that. You got to walk the walk too. You know what I mean? And a lot of people find that part of it crazy.
Yeah, and
that's where you lose people because everybody talks about being successful, right? Everybody talks about, I want to chase this. I want to really give it. I want to really, you know what I mean? And then it's like when it comes time to actually go and get in the cold water, when it comes time to actually go to the gym when you're tired, when you're sore, when you don't want to go, like that's when it's tough. You know what I mean? Or the times when all of your friends are going out to the clubs and partying, and you're like, dude, I got a full day of stuff I got to do tomorrow, and I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like as much as I would love to go party and drink and make a fool of myself, like yeah, sure, it's fun, blow off steam, whatever you want to do. But it's like for me to win the day tomorrow because of all the classes and everything else I got to do. Well, that means I got to wake up at 7:30 and go to the gym. Or I got to wake up at 7:30 and go to the stream because I'm not going to have a chance to do it later in the day. So do I want to sacrifice me being great tomorrow and winning tomorrow and then lose 2 days back to back? No. Like but it's real easy to talk your way out of it, right? To have that other voice in your head and let that voice take over. You know what I mean? And be like, well, it is just one day, right? What if I just miss one day of the cold water? You know what I mean? That's no big deal, right? Or if I skip training a little bit, maybe I show up a little late tomorrow. Who cares, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's just class. You know, we're not taking a test. I don't even really need to be there. I'll just show up. I'll show up halfway through, you know? And it's like all that stuff adds up, and mentally it's not good for you. Because I'm telling you, if I wake up and I do everything I'm supposed to do in a day, I'm living it right now. This is the first time in my life I'm sitting here on spring break. I am on target with school. Not ahead. I'm not saying I'm ahead. This is the first time since probably middle school that I don't have any assignments. I actually have a spring break where I'm literally caught up. My grades are cashed in. The money's in the bank. Like that's crazy to me. Like I've lived my whole life behind just because I've been lazy. There's no one that was they weren't locking me out of the classrooms in high school. They weren't locking me out of the classrooms last semester. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just flipped the switch in myself where I'm like, I want to chase this. I want to be great. And that means I got to do it across the board in everything I do. And I think that's a huge piece of it, man. And that's the part of it that people struggle with is like, there's no such things as halfway crooks in that lifestyle. You know what I mean? You got to be all or nothing. Because because my whole life, I've been halfway, right? Like up until this point, I've been living it halfway. I've been doing just football. And it's gotten me by, right? I've been average, right? Like that's where I've been. And now I'm trying to take that next step and elevate it where I'm doing everything right. Where I'm living spiritually and I'm mentally healthy and I'm physically healthy. Because I'm trying to keep my brain sharp too. Dude, I've realized now just by going back to class and doing more schoolwork now that, dude, if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm slower now doing math than I feel like I ever have been. Like, and that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, that's why I'm on my phone playing chess and stuff now, dude. Like, I'm trying to get it back. Like, I'm like, I'm trying to sharpen myself across the board to make myself the best person. So when I do lay in that coffin and I go face to face with my maker, I can say, hey dude, I was the man whether you like it or not. And I live that shit right.
Yeah, that is the goal, bro.
That's
Well,
the
and the
goal.
more you do, the more you realize how you can't even you can't believe that you were in the mix with that, and you can't believe that everybody else who's older than you has continued to do it.
Yeah.
Just being just living just not healthy.
Right.
It's not the right way. 'Cause
Halfway.
there is a right way to live.
Yeah.
There's a right way to live, and it's broad, but there is a right way to live, and there's a wrong way to live.
And it's not hard. It's not hard. And people have this idea in their head like it's so hard. Dude, 90% of it is just showing up.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, 90% of it is just getting there, right? Because obviously you make it to the things you have to. Required lifts, you know what I mean, where you're running if you're not there. That's easy to make it to, right? That's super easy. But it's you lose it when it's well, this is something that, they gave us a day off today. Do I go and actually lift? Do I cash in on that? Or do I get worse today? You know what I mean? And it's it's real easy to talk yourself out of it. But dude, if you just go to the gym, you'll naturally, once you, dude, I did it today. I was dehydrated, tired, I hadn't eaten, and I didn't want to be in the gym when Malachi asked me to go to the gym. But I was like, dude, you know what? I know that I'm probably going to bail on the cold stream because it was already too late in the day. I slept in, you know what I mean? And I knew that I was probably not going to be able to make it to the sauna. And I was like, I will be damned if I'm going to do nothing today. So I was like, I'm going to the gym. And as soon as I walked in the door, I was like, all right, yeah. And I flipped the switch. It's just, you naturally, your body wants to do it once you show up. You want to be where you are. Your mind is going to focus 100% on what's around you. So it's if you just put yourself there, if you just get yourself there, get in the car and get to where you're supposed to be, bro, 90% of it is showing up. Once you're there, it's easy. It's easy. Because even if you're slacking off while you're there, you're subconsciously still learning or getting better. You know what I mean? If you're doing the right things.
And it almost, for me, once it sneaks into your mind and you know that it's good for you, you feel bad whenever you don't do it. So
Yeah.
it puts more pressure on you to continue to live at that frequency.
I was trying to figure out, because, dude, it was around this time last year when I did your podcast. Mm-hmm. And if people were to go back and listen to it, or we were to go back and listen to it, this was, we watched me do this before, right? I was 345 last time, and I got down to 310. Mm-hmm. This time I was 350, and now I'm back down. I was 306 today. Mm-hmm. So it's I was trying to figure out in my head, because, dude, that fucked me up, right? Because I was dude, if you listen to that interview, I talk then how I talk now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where I'm saying, I'm doing this, right? And it's where did I lose it?
Momentum.
You know what I mean?
It's momentum because good momentum is super effective, but bad momentum is extremely contagious, and it'll latch on quick. It's almost like having a normal health day and not appreciating it until you're got strep throat.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh my gosh, this is way more severe, because when it gets bad, it's way worse. It just keeps going. And then whenever you're on, that's also it takes longer, but once you get in that flow, it's also effective.
Right.
So it's just it's harder to stay in the good momentum side than the bad momentum. I felt that, I didn't even take off as many days as I wanted to when I got back, because I started to feel the whole thing of wanting to continue to chill.
Right.
And it's I know that I can't.
It's getting comfortable. That's what I came to. That was the conclusion I found, is that, and I was kind of talking about it with Mike, is so the problem was last time when I did this, I set a goal, and my goal was to hit 310, 315, and then float, mm-hmm. right? Because that was my playing weight, right? And I did it. I got down there, and then the problem was then it's I did it by the fasting, right? And then I got down there, and I was like, okay, I no longer need the fast. Mm-hmm. I can just kind of eat normal meals, try to eat like a normal person, normal 3-meal-a-day schedule. And if I eat normal size portions, I should stay this size. Mm-hmm. And it's and I tried that, and I got content. That's getting content, because that's comfortable.
Dude, fasting is the way to go.
It's lifestyle. That's what I've that's what I've decided. But the other part of it is I feel like there shouldn't be like an ideal weight number. You know what I mean? For me,
it should all your focus should be on the quality of the food you're eating.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but I gotta be around somewhere, right? Because I gotta be a decent size to play, just like you.
What do you mean? You gotta be around where?
Weight
wise? Yeah. You should just focus on whole foods, and if you need to eat more whole foods, you eat more whole foods.
Right.
And if you don't, if it's perfect keeping you good, then you're good.
Yeah.
Or if it's not enough, then you gotta, like I said, you gotta eat more.
Right. And just that's how I started doing it. It's
that weight shit is like, that shit'll drive you crazy because,
well, 90. That's another thing. A lot of people misunderstand. I was talking to Tanner about this the other day. Is the fasting really is everything, dude? I eat whatever I want. We just went to Glory Days and had a crazy meal that a lot of people would probably be like, "You eat what? Like that's so unhealthy." If you eat it during the right time of day and don't eat absolutely disgusting quantities, like you can pretty much eat whatever you want and be fine. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't. It's more beneficial if you grind it out and eat the more substantial things that are going to last you longer. You'll be more effective athletically, and everything like that. But you could... dude, I was in a sling this time when I lost the weight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was entirely... And I wasn't eating, like... It wasn't like I'd stopped eating altogether. Mm-hmm. I was just fasting, and I couldn't do any cardio at all. The only lifting I was doing was legs. Like, I was in a sling. And I still lost 40 pounds in 2 months. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's all about when you're eating. It's all about when you're eating.
Yeah, and it's all about, like...
It's mentality. Everything is mentality, dude. Like, I wish I could put a finger on one thing and say that's what keeps me locked in. But I can't.
I try to put in, like, I put in so much sweat, like, so much sweaty work, like, every day that I can, like, I can eat, like, more than normal.
Yeah,
and
well, that's how it's supposed
still
to be.
losing gain and float between 210 and 215.
Yeah, I'm at the. How many calories do you think you eat a day?
Probably close to 3,000.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like more than me. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I just try to burn.
My metabolism's slow. That's another reason why I love the cold water. Is speeds up metabolism. That's like something that people don't talk about that aspect of it as much, but it's super good for that. Fires your metabolism up. Like I got in that night with Ezra when we went at night. And dude, that was the most weight I've ever lost in my sleep ever. I lost like 5 pounds that night in my sleep.
Wow.
Like, it was wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just because the cold water fires your shit up.
Yeah.
Your metabolism. Yeah. So many benefits of that. But it's so difficult to do, man. That's the other thing. I see ads for that all the time now. The people getting cold tubs, the little personal ones. Mm-hmm. And I'm always thinking in my head, like, dude, how many people do you think buy that thing, fill it up, put their hand in, and are like, fuck no, dude.
Yeah, that's like a Rubik's, a normal person buying a Rubik's Cube. As soon as they mix it up the first time, it never gets solved again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how many Rubik's Cubes in the world never got solved?
That's true.
A lot.
Not any around us, dude.
How many of them cold tubs?
That's what I'm saying. What a waste of money. Yeah. You know how many motherfuckers are like, I can do that. They put one-handed or do it once, and they're like, and then the next, or like, even if they do it the first time, right? Like the next morning, and it's time to get back in the cold water. Like, dude, they're not doing it again.
I know, and I felt that shit, like, cold exposure has literally changed my life, dude. Like, I remember, like, I was so happy. It was, like, something I looked forward to, like, during the season when I continue to do it.
Oh, when it's hot out, it's the best.
Like, even, like, late in the season when I was, like, going there, like, Slippery Rock Week, or, like, when it started getting cold, and it was, like, December, and I was still getting in there, I was like, wow, this is, like, changing who I am as a person.
Dude, I feel that way now. No bullshit, dude.
Yeah, because you realize you become more mind to muscle connected with just like understanding the feeling and that understanding, like a different kind of trust will understand you're gonna be okay. Yeah, and it's also it's that, and that's the one that I'm like, for me, I find that more in the sauna, because the sauna is harder for me, because I feel like it's because I'm bigger. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. But I feel like that's probably why. But like
for me, like, I've watched you do 30 minutes in the sauna and be fine. And for me, that's like a death sentence. Like, once I hit 25, I'm cooked.
Yeah, I try to go in for 25 every time.
Yeah. It's hard to do, though, man. And that's the other thing people don't realize, right?
Sometimes
Is people
it's
think,
hotter than usual.
yeah, dude, sometimes there's people in there that are
Yeah, sometimes
steaming
the 25 minutes feels good, and it's other times it's.
Trust me, I was in there last time for your 25 minutes, and that.
Yeah, and then like today
watch.
I got in and it was easy.
For real?
Yeah.
I was just about. That goes against what I was just about to say. I was just going to say, like, a lot of people like think that it gets easier, but that's part of it is that I feel like it never does. Cold water is just as cold every day. You know what I mean? There are colder days.
You're
than
just
others,
more
but, like,
prepared. You're just more prepared.
Yeah, for sure. But that's part of it, right? Is you want to be better than the you from yesterday.
And you're not closed-minded, because the only people that would think that is something terrible is people who have no clue what they're talking about. That are just trapped into the media.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is like,
I don't do anything within the rule book. I don't live inside the lines. I don't live inside the lines. I'm straddling the line. Sometimes I am. Most of the time I'm not. That's the difference between me and you. You live inside the lines. You care mentally what other people think about you. And it's killing you slowly from the inside out. It's rotting your insides. You don't live your life based on real world experiences that altered the brain chemistry in your mind. You live by the rules that you see on Instagram, and you're a slave to a Nike symbol and a Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart. You're addicted to all these things that they need you to be addicted to. I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah, brother, you get them for free.
I have Skechers Crocs on right now. I have
can
a
vouch
Martinsburg High School jersey on right now.
I can vouch for that. And the hoodie under that's some no-name brand, isn't it?
I made it to the NFL Combine living in Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Isn't it wild that that's crazy, but it shouldn't be crazy?
And there are some people that don't even think they can get a master's degree. But I'm sitting here telling you that I made it to the NFL Combine, and I live in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. Now you explain that. You think I would have been able to do that by thinking and living inside the lines? No. I'm constantly outside the box. And that's the issue. I am the leader of my world. You are not the leader of your world, and it needs to change now. You need to change it now. I'm trying to get you on the other side.
You say that.
Get out of the box. Break the box. Break the box. And for anybody, look, the simple thing of like people that live in this area, in the Martinsburg, Berkeley County, Jefferson County area, they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of West V. I can't wait to get out of West V.
You couldn't wait to come back.
Guess what the outside world is? Literally a place just like West V.
That's not true. Not everywhere.
I'm telling you,
not everywhere you go.
Not everywhere you go. No matter where you go, there's gonna be something that is a huge inconvenience, and you're going to begin to despise it the same way that that people think
that I agree with.
that there's problems in this area.
Yeah.
The only
There are some are still worse
in West Virginia, you experience all 4 seasons. There's stuff to do outside in nature. There's restaurants to go to that are 30 minutes away at most, and that's if you're bougie and you want to go to.
But like people feel like to some people that's far.
That's what I'm saying. But 30 minutes is not far.
No,
that's not, especially there's no traffic. There is no traffic in this area. There is very seldom traffic in this area. The only thing we don't experience no natural disasters because we are protected by the mountains. So I'm trying to figure out, you gonna go to Florida and be happy with you because you can go to the beach 5 times more than you normally would? When are you gonna get tired of that? And then on top of that, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's about to be a tsunami hurricane. There's going to be a tsunami hurricane. You should evacuate. Get out of there now, or everybody's going to die.
You lose your house.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, now your roof's gone.
Yeah, that actually, you know what I was thinking about? I was wondering. I wanted to ask you earlier at dinner, but I waited because I wanted to figure it'd be better for this. So, when you, let's say, at the end of it, right? However long this run it takes you, and I hope it takes you to the limits, like all the way to the top. I really think that you can fucking do it too. Well, like when you can retire, you're retiring here.
Oh, I'm gonna always, as long as my family's here, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
You wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
No, I want to visit everywhere. I want to visit everywhere. I don't want to live anywhere else because there's no reason. Everything that somebody would need is in this area.
You know what? I actually, dude, people are gonna say that this is crazy, but like I've traveled a little bit. You know what I mean? I've been to Europe. I went to Northern Ireland. I've been to the UK. I've been to Italy, and like, dude, like, so I've been to the Scottish Highlands, right? And it's like, that's beautiful, right? And people consider that like, oh, like that's like if you want to go see like roaring mountains and beautiful green grass, like that's where you want to go, right? You go to the Scottish Highlands, like it's beautiful there, right? And it was beautiful. It was breathtaking. But like when I got back home and I was driving on the back roads and stuff, and I was like driving by the cliff sides and stuff here, I was like, you know what, bro, this is pretty fucking beautiful too. You know what I mean? Like some of this stuff, like I was like,
all you're gonna see.
Like I was like, all I was thinking was in my head is like, if I took a picture of this and put it next to like one of these old barns that somebody, if I showed the whole picture and it showed like the rest of it, people would be like, oh, that looks like a crap house, West Virginia. But if I just took this barn, like this cut of the barn and the grass and the sun and the pasture, motherfuckers would think that I was like, and put it next to something from when I was in the Highlands. It would be the same fucking picture. It would be the same. It would be the same picture. And I was like, dude, like people pay all of that money to go do that. And I'm like, dude, like this is the land of opportunity, brother. It is. Like it is. I consider it winning the lottery that I was born American.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like this is. I saw Joey Diaz talking about that the other day, and he was like, "Motherfuckers, I talk to motherfuckers all the time, and they're like, oh, I'm moving it. Once I get the money, I'm going to Canada. Why, cocksucker? Why would you do that? Like, motherfuckers are trying to lie and cheat to get into this place, and you want to leave? Like, you want to get enough money to leave? Like, that's, and he's right though. Like, dude, this is like this. There is a lot of success to be had here, man. And dude, this generation, our generation, is
you can do whatever
soft.
you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's another thing, dude. I really believe that. Like on a whole nother level, I believe that, and I'm gonna tell you like a couple examples, dude. I really believe that if you behave and act the right way, you can literally break a lot of rules, and nobody will care if you're respected and respectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in high school, right, I was super close with all my teachers, even if I wasn't the best student. I was very respectful. You know me, man. I'm a nice guy. Like, I was super nice to all of them. I never disrespected any of my teachers. If I did something wrong, I owned up to it. I never lied. You know what I mean? I was always open with my teachers. And I literally, for our little spirit week or whatever, like, people were dressing up. I walked around the hallways in my high school with a real wooden baseball bat as part of my costume. That is not allowed. You can't just walk. That's a weapon, dude. Like, if I wanted to and I was crazy, like, I could have just been like, me.
Dude,
like,
we had
they don't
bats.
trust
people.
people.
We had baseball bats all over the.
Oh, my. I
hate you.
I hate you. You know that? I hate you.
You went to a fucking private school. No shit, you couldn't have a wooden baseball bat in the hallway.
Bro.
Our baseball team on game day walked around with their baseball bat.
So did ours. But I just mean, like, I had it out, like, in my hands.
But your probably costume was a baseball player.
Yeah, I was Jackie Robinson. But you shouldn't be, like, they said, like, you're not allowed
You were
to have,
Jackie Robinson?
Not Jackie Robinson. I had the jersey. Bo Jackson on his baseball jersey.
Oh, okay.
His Auburn baseball jersey.
Vintage.
Yeah, it was a tough jersey. I don't know why I said Jackie Robinson. See, he was 42, I think Bo Jackson was.
Jackie Robinson was 42.
I know, but I think Bo Jackson was too at Auburn.
I thought he's 34.
At Auburn?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All football
I know
field,
there
he
was
was 34.
I'll look it up. See, we don't have Sweets. No computer. That sucks.
Yeah, Sweets bailed.
Sweets did bail. It's alright, though. It's all good. He's got to do his thing. He's got stuff going on. I can't expect him to be here all the time to save me. You know what I mean? Gotta rely on myself sometimes. Don't do that.
Unreal. Can't believe you do that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
fire me up. Ask me a couple more things.
Here's one that me and Sweets were talking about, is like the fear of failure as a concept, because I feel like there's two sides to it, right? Is like, it can fuel you to a point, right? Like, it can be positive, fear of failure, like, so I push myself so I don't fail. But then there's also where it can hold you hostage, like we were talking about before. Like, where if you're too scared that you don't take a leap that you're supposed to take, when it's like, in the end of the day, you're going to die anyway. Right?
Yeah, I feel like it all comes and stems from being down to earth. If you're down to earth, I think having a general idea of what death is and what it means, and how just the realization of just the human side as opposed to like the business social side. If you can be more just human and down to earth, you understand that you're going to die. Like, you understand that.
Yeah.
And as long as you understand that, even though you want things to work out, like you want things to work out, you want to be successful, you understand that more than anything, you just want to make sure that you are a super self-sufficient, like, nobody needs to worry about helping you with anything. If anything, you are the help to other people.
Right.
Because nothing is more of a burden than somebody who can't take care of themselves.
Yeah. No.
Nothing is more of a
feel
burden.
that way
So
too.
as long as you can understand that, be as self-sufficient as you possibly can, and also just do what you want to do and understand that as long as you're prepared, like I said before, that it's all going to be good, then you just understand that you just do what you do. And if what you do makes you a lot of money, then it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, nobody's, like, money is an illusion. Money is not, like, actually have any impact on how you feel.
Yeah.
Internally. Like, you're still, if you eat 10 McChickens and you're rich, your stomach's still going to be jacked up.
Yeah.
You're still going to feel bad.
Right.
As the same if a broke person did it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Be self-sufficient and you don't have to worry about anything else. Like, if somebody's expecting you to worry about them, then that's selfish. So you shouldn't put any of your mind on that. Even though I literally do it every single day of my life, by the way. I literally put extreme pressure on myself based on my family and just everybody involved. But that's dumb, because I don't need anybody to take care of me.
Right.
So I'm like, individually, why would you need anybody to help you?
Yeah.
But I also feel like I was the one that was supposed to do this. So I need to fulfill my duty within
Right.
the family and be the one.
Right.
So it's like that too. Like, all those things. And just want freedom in my life. Like, just like, I get enough money to where I can just, like, I can do what I want. Like, what I want to do is play football. So if I can get paid doing that, and then just have enough money to just whatever hobbies or whatever I want to engage myself in. Yeah. I mean, just like.
Why are you so scared of that term?
Because
I said it at
that
dinner,
yeah,
too,
but
and you were
FU money, that's like, I don't want to, like, FU money to me is like Joe Rogan has FU money. He can buy like 10 Bugattis and like, it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? But like, I think to everybody it has its own
I just want to have
right?
enough money to literally live exactly how I live.
I think that's your definition of fuck you money. I think it's personalized, because that's different to everybody. To some people, that means
I want to have enough money to where I'm not pressured into working some job I hate.
That's what it means to me. I told you my definition of it to me was enough money that I would never have to rely on another paycheck to support me and my family for the rest of my natural born life.
And maybe not even that. Like, just having enough space to where right now I don't need it figured out. I can wait enough time and still have a little bit of money in the bank to where I can start making money in something I actually want to do and not something I'm trapped in.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's like fear of failure, but also just understanding that we're just human beings.
Yeah.
Like, whatever's supposed to happen, I believe was supposed to happen. Whether that means I make a bunch of money or not a lot of money, I don't really spend money anyway, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm trying to more and more be more minimalist with what I'm buying and stuff. Like, you don't need a whole lot. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff is extra. Yeah. A lot of everything we do is extra.
Yeah.
So
it's not really normal either. It's like our new formed like what people think is normal just based on how everything's been happening.
Well, another thing that I think
past
about all the
couple
time,
decades.
you know, I used to be a history major, and like people talk about all the time, like in history, like as a species, we're weaker now. You know what I mean? Like back then, those dudes were strong because they walked everywhere. You know what I mean?
And
they
straight
carried
up adversity,
everything.
Straight up adversity.
Yeah, our bodies now are coddled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've seen like the projections. Have you ever seen the projections of like this is like where it's heading? And it's like dead ass. It's a dude that's like it's called like textures grip. Like his body's naturally formed like almost like to have an elbow here, like he's holding a phone, and their necks are crooked, like genetically like starting to become more and more like this because we're looking down all the time at screens and everything.
Wow.
Like that's terrible, dude.
It is terrible.
That's terrible. And if you think about it, like it's probably not as noticeable, like looking at someone from the past to now, but the one jumping from now to what is to come potentially by whatever that was so disgusting looking, dude.
Yeah.
So disgusting looking, but it's the truth. You know, we're coddled. Our bodies are coddled.
Yeah, but you gotta understand it. Like some people just don't understand it. They don't have any generalized realization of the fact that it's not normal. It's just normal to them. So it's like if you can't wrap your mind around it, you don't think about it, you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't even understand like until somebody sits you down that you care about it and explains it to you. Like, you gotta get lucky. Mm-hmm. Like, which is basically what happens to everybody. They get lucky with having an older influence.
Have somebody like
That's
for real
right.
save them. Like
Yeah,
have them
that's actually
somebody
right.
for
Exactly.
really save them and help them out of that hole and say, hey, listen, look, I know that this is what everyone around you is saying this is right. It's not.
Not
If
even
you
that.
really-
Like, not
if you-
portraying any opinions or thoughts on you and just allowing you to live a life. Like if you have a parent that is always making sure you're not hurting yourself, that's feeding you good food, and that is, you know, teaching you and loving on you in some way, then bro, they don't need to tell you right or wrong. It's naturally going to be right. If you get a kid that's
we were thinking different things. I was thinking more of like helping change. I wasn't thinking so much your son or child. I was thinking like helping change someone else's mentality that's stuck in that mode of like following the norms and everything that.
Okay, all right, because I think that right there, that's easy. Like Derek's got multiple hundreds of kids every year that he's a teacher, and he's got hundreds of kids that he has every year, and you can see that only a select few have really bought into everything he's saying.
Yeah,
and those people are like.
Yeah,
like he's had an influence on the
Isn't
people,
that
and they
crazy?
became better people.
That dude,
Dylan Brewer,
is,
Dylan Brewer
yeah.
is one of them.
Yeah, you're
Jesse.
one of them.
I'm one of them. Jesse Trejo is one of them. Airman of the Year.
And you know what's even more crazy is like I wouldn't consider myself one of them, but almost like a off cousin in a way, because I've kind of experienced it through you. And imagine all the other branches that fall off that tree like me. You know what I mean? That started at a guy that most people would consider like a Joe Schmo normal guy, but to us it's like no, dude, like
he's the only.
He's got a lot of like.
He's the only person I ever met that's living the right way.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of phenomenal philosophies and ways that he lives life. He's one of the smartest people I've ever talked to. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that it's like, not a lot of people know who he is.
If you look up his name, it's like you'll get like a Shepherd basketball player.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he's not on social media.
But dude, isn't
he
that
doesn't
crazy?
partake. He doesn't.
But he has this weird, like not weird, but this crazy following.
He's
like
trapped.
his own
He's
tree
trapped.
of, like almost
he's trapped in
disciples.
real life. He's trapped in real life. Everybody else is trapped in the fake life. He's the only person that's present in every moment because he has no option but to be, because he does not have a digital
presence
around
You're
him.
not all the way off everything.
No.
You said you're gonna be there, right?
Yeah, I plan on it one day, but I don't. That doesn't like. That is like. It's obviously one of the hardest things in the world because everybody's on it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I'll tell you what. The one thing I talked a little bit about it with etches too is like trying to detach and stuff, and it's hard to do now with this because now I have to be on Instagram with this, and thankfully the Etch said he's gonna be my eyes on TikTok, which is awesome. He's the man for that. But like, dude, I enjoy Twitter. I don't think I'll ever get rid of Twitter, dude. I don't think I'll ever get rid of Twitter.
Got rid of Twitter. I don't even get on Twitter. I hate Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Twitter. That was easy. That was the easiest one.
When did you get off Twitter?
I haven't been on Twitter
Since Elon bought it?
Nah, I don't know. Before
Yeah,
that.
because now there's no cancel on Twitter. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I just don't get
You
on
can't,
Twitter.
like, Elon lets anybody say whatever they want all the time. Which is why I kind of like,
That's good.
to me, that's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that makes it for good entertainment. I don't know if it's great for information distribution.
He's outside of the box.
No, he is.
He's out the box. Like, he's out the box.
Well,
Like,
he's
simple
got,
story.
if
Simple
fuck
story.
you
He told
money
me
was a person.
simple story that will just help kind of say who he is. He's freaking 25, 26 years old. He's just trapped in a normal existence, right?
Who?
G.
Yeah.
Aside from like not having a phone or whatever, like he's always never had a phone, but he's just like going through the normal days, not really living
How
and
old
feeling
did you say
things,
he was?
right? He's about 26, 27 at this point, right?
Yeah.
And he's running and he's just feeling so trapped in life.
Oh, I remember
he
you told me
veers
this.
off. He veers off the path and just starts running off path in the middle of the woods. Just the realization that you don't have to run on the path. You can run off the path and jump and dodge stuff. And you're going to get way more of a life feeling than you are if you just run the beaten path. The rat race that everybody's in. Your nose is in everybody's ass, and your ass is in everybody's nose. Like, you're just following each other. Like, you can run off the path. And that's what he did. He ran off the path. He tells that story, and he's like, bro, like, that changed my life. That simple little thing of, like, I don't have to wear Nike. I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to have a Benz.
Because who cares?
I don't have to have jewelry.
Right.
I don't have to do that.
Because who cares?
Yeah, as long as I look good naked, I don't care. I don't care what I wear. I'll wear a towel and a robe.
You and Sweets.
Yeah, I'll wear anything.
Yeah.
I'll have
I'll
ugly
tell you
long
what,
hair.
that's something that's like really awesome with me now. Is now like when you lose the weight, dude. Like I'm just more comfortable with myself.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Like I had that realization like just the other day. Of like I'll just like call like dude, and you know what? To anybody that's out there and is trying to lose weight and wants wants any advice, right? On like, oh, how do you do it? How do you stay like and follow a regimen and actually like do it and lose weight? I think Tom Segura said it best. If you don't look in the mirror and hate what you see, then you're not ready. Like you're not. You got to hit that rock bottom, dude. You got to hit it. Because it's like almost a beautiful moment, and I'm almost happy I did it twice. Because this time, looking back at it, I knew the pain and suffering that was coming. Right when I stepped on that scale the second time around, and I was like, "God damn, bro! Like it's time to do this shit again." Because I don't have a choice. I have to step on the field this fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like this weight's coming off.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if like I was like. This is it. Like, this is it again. Here I am. And I've done this to myself again, twice. And that's, like, part of why you got to hit it. You got to hit it. Because if you're one of those people, like, I mean, dude, I was for the longest time where you look in the mirror and you're like, ugh. And then you, like, suck in, and you're like, that's what I really look like. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you tell yourself that. Bro, like, then you're not ready. You're not ready. Because you have to hate it out of you.
Bro.
You have to hate it out of you.
That just made me think of something. I can like that, and I can correlate that with like as I've grown up working out and been in my dad, luckily, like just introducing me to CrossFit and owning a gym and everything. So I was in that lifestyle through growing up. Like same way that somebody is like not how they want to look and sucking in to make it look like that is the same thing I could say with when I was doing workouts and I stopped cheating.
Yeah.
Because I stopped cheating the workout.
Yeah.
Like
that's a huge thing.
Like if it was 21, 15, 9, I might have did 21, 13, and 9.
Yeah.
Like just somewhere, just when nobody's looking, like just because I just wanted it to be over, right?
Right, yeah.
And then when you subconsciously get to that point where it's not even like, all right, I'm done cheating.
Yeah.
You just know that you need to put that work in.
Yeah, because you know
better.
that's the only way. You know
exactly.
That's,
you just
that's
understand. You just understand that this has to happen, and then I gradually remembered like the time in my life where I stopped cheating.
Yeah.
In my workouts.
Yeah. Like, dude, for me, it's now like because like at this point, I'm so locked in on the fasting stuff. Like, dude, like I wake up and even if it's morning, even if I'm hungry and my stomach is growling and it's like it hurts, right? And I don't start eating until 12. My eating clock does not start until 12. Most days it's 2. But if I'm dying, I'll let it go at 12 because that's what the
so
hours
you already
technically
give
are.
yourself an out.
No, because the hours that I have are 12 to 8. That's my fast, right? But I normally, because of how my schedule works out, don't get the opportunity to eat till 2. But if I'm hungry, technically my feeding time is 12, so I can eat a bar or something, right? So, but damn, bro, you fucking totally threw me off with that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, there's been once where he said, "I'm eating at 2 o'clock."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh nah,
I
didn't
mean
mean
it. Yeah, but
because I done been there. I
Hey.
done been there and did that same thing. But it's like, and the normal person that's never fasted, that's never done anything crazy like that, because they don't have that experience, they can't wrap their mind intellectually around what's actually going on, right?
But also,
they're like, oh my God, no, you need to eat in order to feel good.
Yeah.
In order to have energy.
You don't, bro.
Thanksgiving dinner. How you feel after Thanksgiving Christmas dinner? You feel energized, or you feel like going to sleep?
Dude, that's
feel
the
like
part
going
of it,
to
dude.
sleep.
That's the part of it, dude, because I think about that all the time. Like, when I am at that point where I'm down bad, right? Like, I always can tell myself that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong.
As human beings, we were once animals. We were once out in caves fending for ourselves. Do you think that they had stored food in a refrigerator they didn't have? No, they ate once a day. They ate when they hunted.
When they could. When they had to. When it was
once
available,
a day.
dude.
They ate once a day at most. All right, this is just another thing of your closed mind being trapped in the boxes
Like,
of
dude,
life.
you know what I was thinking about, dude? Dude.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So, your body, literally, because we are doing it the wrong way, the only reason I ever eat 3 times a day is because I need to weigh a certain amount in order to be able to take hits in football, right? That's why. If I wasn't, I would eat once a day because your body, because everybody's stuffing their face.
Once a day.
Everybody's stuffing their face with just the regimen of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast, there is no timetable for breakfast. Breakfast just stands for break fast. So breakfast is whenever the first time you eat. Whenever the first time you eat, that's your breakfast. You broke your fast. You slept through the night. You wake up.
Is that
whatever
the
you
actual
eat.
where the word comes from?
Yeah, breakfast is not a time thing. You're breaking your fast.
Breaking
Break
your
fast, right? Because you
is that
fasted
like
through the
really
night.
where the origin of the word
Yes,
comes from?
yes.
That's tough,
So,
dude. I didn't know that.
And your body is like always fed, so it's always comfortable and chilling. Your body, the neurons in your body are perfectly fine with operating at 50%. 50%. That's a failing grade. But that's what your body's okay with because they know at 8:30 in the morning you're gonna put some dumb shit in your body and everybody be good, right? That's not how it's supposed to be. Your neurons, you need to shock them. You need to be uncomfortable as much as possible. And what better way to do it than through food? You need to not eat because then your neurons, everything will start freaking out. They'll be like, all right, I'm not getting it from old boy, so now I got to start eating away at the storage that I already have in my body.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden they're wiping out all the neurons that are trying to be on lazy mode. And now your whole body is filled with neurons that are firing at maximum capacity. I'm telling you right now, I've never thought clearer in my life than when I was in a fasted state. As soon as I break my fast, and when I break it, I usually eat a lot, right? I feel worse than I did when I was fasted.
That's actually not. I feel like that's true. Like,
Yes, that is true. And you only get that through real experiences. You can't, if you want to change the way you're thinking about something, you can't just think about it because you've never done it. You don't know what it feels like. You need to uncomfortably insert yourself in the situation, in the predicament, so that your mind can gain its own thoughts on it through your experience.
Yeah.
That's all it is. People
are
like, oh, well, that seems terrible, so I'm not going to do it.
That's the cold water, I think, in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, you're going to get pneumonia, you're going to get sick.
Yeah.
The cold
That's what
can't make
everybody
you
says.
sick. The cold scientifically cannot make you sick. It can give you a runny nose. The cold cannot make you sick. Bacteria is the only thing that can make you sick. And if anything, getting in the cold water is only strengthening your immune system because you are completely and utterly shocking yourself.
Yeah.
You are shocking your body into fight or flight mode, and your body is operating at a high level. And in this constant uncomfortableness, you can then change the genes. You can rewire the genes of your body. So, if you get obviously from your mom and dad, but the smarter you become, the more physically capable you become, the more spiritually capable you become, you are changing the genes of your body because your mind is having to produce all these different things because of the way you're thinking, the way you're moving, the way you're, just operating at the highest level possible. And then you change the genes, and then you, instead of having some punk-ass son or some chump-ass daughter, you end up having a freaking unrecognizable human being. You can change the
get rid of the texture.
You can change the directory of your child's life through living a healthy, holistic life.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
You can literally give your child a better existence and a better chance just by operating, just by being healthy and living at the maximum level.
What I think is so funny is like while I'm watching you do this, like go on this rant and tell, and it's like to me, it's like I understand a lot of it, right? Because I live the same way. I fast too. I do the cold water, you know what I mean, and I'm there with you. But it's just so funny because I think you're right on the head where it's like, people are gonna tell you it's crazy, dude. People are gonna look at you like like it's funny, like you're doing the weird wrong thing. But it's like that is the truth of it, right?
They don't understand. They don't understand that I'm just saving and preserving my life.
Yeah.
I'm saving and preserving it because even if it only gives me 2 more years than you of being capable at things, I'm taking those 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm taking them.
Why wouldn't you?
I fully plan on living till I'm 100 years old. I don't want to die I don't want to add to anything that could kill me.
Yeah.
I don't want to add to it. However I'm going to go, I understand that. I don't want to increase any chances of anything.
And some of it's wild too.
It's like people can't wrap around their mind around the fact that they're going to die. You should be more healthy so you can live a better existence.
Right.
Why wouldn't you be weird and just read something? Literally, if you think cold exposure is bad or weird, or you think eating good quality meat and vegetable and fish and sardines, if you think that's weird, all it takes is 15 minutes of reading for you to figure out that it's actually not bad. Lack of knowledge is just everywhere. If you spent 18 minutes a day doing something, after 2 years you'd be a professional. All it takes is you to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and you can be a professional in that field.
Yeah. That's like there was a famous rapper once who said that he was like, I could be in the NBA if I put everything I put into that. He's like, then I can be successful. He's like, I'm telling you, I can be successful in everything I do, and I'm telling you, you can be successful in everything you do. Right?
I don't know NBA they're like aliens.
Why? Because they're so tall.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's 6'1",
6'3".
Is he?
And he's the smallest dude on the field.
I'm 6'3".
Nah, you're about 6'2".
I'm 6'3".
I'm 6'3" and 1/8", and I'm taller than you.
See, this is why
I'm just saying, think about that though. Steph Curry's taller than you, and he's the smallest dude on the court.
No, that is wild. Maybe not the NBA.
And he's shooting from 50
Maybe
feet.
not the NBA then. But the point is that you can. There are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I know what he means though, and I do believe him.
You know what I mean? Like it's about the type of person you are. What you choose
it's
to
like
be successful
if you
in is
told
up
me
to
you were gonna play in the NBA if you wanted to, I'd be like, why? You wouldn't play in the fucking NBA if you wanted to.
No,
same reason I would. Same
that
reason
NBA is one that's way more nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of nature.
Yeah.
Like you got to be born. You got to have some gifts. Right. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So, what would you say? Do you have would you say that you have one mantra that you live by, like that like sums up all of this? You know what I mean? Because we just spit a lot of stuff, and again, to us, it's not new information.
I would just say
it's how we live.
Just being open-minded is the only thing.
That's so a mantra. A mantra is more like, all right. So I'll give you an example, right? So mine is a Conor McGregor quote, and it's why not feel unbeatable? Because to me, the whole quote is he's pretty much just like, like everybody, like before I was double champ, before I was regular champ, everybody was saying like, oh, you talk all this shit, everything right, like loudmouth, whatever. Like, and he's like, well, why would I feel any other way? If I don't truly believe that I can be the best at what I'm doing, then why am I doing it? You know what I mean? Like, why? And if I have this self-doubt and I start to create it in myself, then what am I doing if I don't believe in myself? You know what I mean? So if I'm going to feel that's really what the quote is. The basis of it, he goes, if I'm going to feel any way, if I have to feel a certain way, because you have to feel some way, right? regardless of at any moment you have some sort of feeling going on in your body, mind, whatever it is, like just a general emotion of the room, of your environment around you. You have to feel some way, right? If I have to feel a certain way, why not feel unbeatable? Why not feel like the greatest to ever do it? Why not feel like why not feel untouchable? Like nobody can fuck with me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like why not look around and be like, look, these guys work hard, whatever, that's cool, they do their thing, but there's not a single person that's locked in like me. There's not a single person that's prepared like I've prepared. You know what I mean? Like that's what
all right, I got it. Diddy said preparation brings a peace. So that's all it is.
That's your mantra?
I'm constantly preparing.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. Preparation's everything.
Preparation brings a peace.
Yeah.
Only reason I be tripping is if I ain't handle my business.
Yeah. Be where you're supposed to be, dude. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, really. If you can be where you're supposed to be, you can be great. And anybody can be great, dude. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't, or that they can't, or someone can't. Dude, there is so much success to be had, and there are so many lazy people in this world.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't and you won't. You'll let this podcast go over your head. It's probably what's going to happen. And you're going to wait.
Brother. We're trying to inspire and save.
I'm going to tell them exactly what's about to happen. You're going to let this podcast go over your head. You're not going to take anything of what we said seriously because you think that we're just two dorks that play football at Shepherd. And that's fine. But there's going to be a time in your life when you finally have had enough of living a tainted, unnatural,
half-assed life,
unhappy, unfulfilling, non-meaningful life. And you're going to come to this point in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I actually am going to die. What would be the difference if I could just put my ego down and take pride in what I do and do whatever it is I want to do to the maximum of my ability and see how far I can take myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then you'd be like, oh, I need to go back and click that podcast. You'll click the podcast. You'll hear me talk about living out of the box. You'll hear me talk about fasting. You'll hear me talk about cold and hot exposure. If I haven't mentioned it already, the importance of being healthy and moving your body and being super fit and having as much muscle on your body as you can.
And being mobile.
Because the more muscle you have on your body, the less chance of any type of disease you can get. Protein intake and muscle function and form literally is the healthiest thing that you could ever do if you don't want to get sick and you don't want to give the people that love you less time to spend with you, right? If you don't care about any of that, then who cares, right? But if you think you owe it to somebody to live on this earth as long as you possibly could, then you will do these things. You will learn how to fast. You will learn how to do cold water exposure. You will do sauna therapy. You will work out every single day of your life in some way or fashion for the rest of your life. What else will you do? You will read way more frequently because you need to understand that the most important thing you need to do in life over fitness is be able to take the ideas in your mind and formulate them into words that somebody else can then understand. You have to be able to communicate in order to be an effective person. So you'll start to read more. And if you do all those things and you drink nothing but water and black coffee, then I'm telling you right now, you will be a better person and you will be happier and you will be more helpful in everyday society life. So that's what's going to happen.
You only drink water and black coffee. No alcohol in your.
No, I haven't drank alcohol in 3 months, and and before that I did it like once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So never really got into that. But basically, what I'm saying is, you're gonna let this go over your head right now, and that's okay because you think I'm just some random dude who's got his own opinion.
Crazy. They think you're crazy.
Yeah. Who cares?
Dead
right?
ass. They think you're crazy.
Yeah. You should just eat. You should just eat mush and hang out and watch TV inside for the rest of your life.
Eat every 2 hours because the government says you're hungry every 2 hours.
Eat breakfast.
That's what they said.
Eat breakfast. When you
breakfast.
wake up,
3 meals a day with some snacks in between. Because that's what the government said.
Okay,
yes.
so you're gonna let it go over your head. It's gonna get to a point in your life where it's unbearable. you're gonna get to a point where it's unbearable to live this way anymore, and then you will have your shining awakening moment. You'll come back and watch this, and then you'll get your life on track. But instead of gaining 10 to 15 years of already being in that mindset, you're not gonna take all the advice right now. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's kind of like a Goggins mentality to it.
Yeah.
Because that's what he says.
Get 8 hours of sleep, drink a bunch of water, take your vitamins.
I meant more like you're not gonna do this.
Yeah,
That's
no,
like
you're not. It's way too uncomfortable. It's way too hard.
It is uncomfortable.
It's way too hard.
And that's like the part that makes me laugh is like when you take people to the stream or like, and I'm sure you've done it.
It's way too hard. And as soon as you introduce yourself to it and it feels good to you, you're gonna understand that it's important and you're gonna be pressured into doing it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So taking that first step is unbearable for you. And I
Yeah.
completely agree with it because it was hard for me too.
Dude, it's hard for everybody.
Yeah.
It's hard for everybody.
It
But
is
it's
hard.
true though, man. Dude, it's so crazy being on this side of it looking out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because people look at us like we're crazy. Bro, I literally I walked out the other day and it's like there's people out in the front yard partying at UH. You know what I mean? And they're like, it's Saturday. They're throwing die. They're drinking, having fun, doing what normal college kids are supposed to be doing on a Saturday, right? Like that's what the cultural norm is. It's Saturday, day drink, beer die, whatever, right? And they see me walking out there with a bathing suit and a towel in March, and it's 35 degrees, and they're like in jackets playing beer die, and I look like I'm about to go to Miami, and I'm going to get in this stream, and they all like literally it was like the record scratch, like they're all looking at me like I got 8 heads, and then I come back 20 minutes later soaking wet, still, you know what I mean, like towel on, like. You know what I mean? And it's like people look at you like you're nuts. Like you don't know what you're talking about. Like you're the craziest
But the
people.
funny thing is one is
Oh,
doing
man.
something to kill themselves.
And one is
That
doing
I don't disagree with every once in a while.
No, it's
But
okay, dude. Have fun.
The normal thing is far more detrimental than the weird thing that Wyatt did. All Wyatt did was make himself healthier and better, and these people did not. But this is weird.
Hey, and you know what the cool part about it is literally after that exact day, right? I came back here after that ice bath. I had already worked out, already did the sauna. I took that, went to the stream, came back here, showered, and dude, me and Etch had a couple beers before the podcast. And it's like, dude, it's fine to celebrate and have fun with your friends and live that life. You should be able to do that. There's no rule saying you can't. But, dude, put the work in first. Enjoy it. Do you know how much better those beers tasted knowing that I had gotten in the cold water and did everything I had to do that day? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it more rewarding. Yep. And it's like, I can enjoy this knowing that, one, I'm not putting myself at risk for losing the day unless I drink 30 of them. You know what I mean? Because I'm still going to, after a full day of stream, workout, and sauna, like, my calorie deficit's crazy at that point.
Yeah.
So.
And having, like, oh, man, where else are we going to go with this? I have something good.
I believe in you. You got it.
Like the only reason you would ever need to drink regularly or to do anything regularly that was detrimental to you, that gave you like a immediate gratification, is when you're constantly consuming yourself in gratification.
When you're chasing
when it's constant just what you want to do. That's gonna,
right.
Like, life is all about being freedom, and people will think that that's freedom to do what they like to do. Freedom is freedom from the things you like to do.
Yeah.
Like forcing yourself to handle what's necessary so that when it's time to do what's fun,
yeah,
like it's more enjoyable. Everything in normal day life, if you're handling your business and doing chosen suffering,
yeah,
like everything's gonna be more enjoyable.
Right.
Like everything's not gonna be as enjoyable if you're just beating your meat every day. If you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're
I know
constantly
what you mean. I know
like
what you mean.
you're kind of like
because what I was
like
gonna
you're
say,
doing that. You're drinking, you're smoking and eating a bunch of candy and dessert.
Yeah.
Like you're just doing exactly what you want to do today. Then all of a sudden, going to hang out and making like your sibling smile or something doesn't feel as good because you've been doing things that feel good,
wrong,
that feel
right,
amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well I see what you're
So
saying.
now you have to come down in order to
right. Your
that to be
dopamine
cool.
levels are compromised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely fucked.
Whenever you do like climax or whatever, it takes your body 2 weeks in order to recuperate from the amount lost.
Really?
For men,
Really?
yes.
I didn't know that.
It takes 2 weeks to replenish yourself.
That's crazy.
Fully to where you just were.
Wow. Women weaken legs was what Mickey said and Rocky.
Yeah.
Semen retention. Eric Ostro was big on that. Yeah. No, that's definitely crazy. No, but what I think, so like to me, I saw a crazy video about like chasing happiness is like chasing those things, right? People want to chase happiness. And it's like that's the wrong thing to do. Happiness is fleeting. You're never going to be able to catch it and hold on to it forever. It's not possible.
No, you're trying to get peace.
Right.
Yeah,
What you're trying to find is peace or success in yourself as a person, which I think are intertwined, right? Because to me, living a successful life is being a good man, right? Like that's what it is. Like being a G, right? Like that's a good man to me, right? Yeah. So it's like if that's what you should be chasing, and guess what? You are more likely to encounter happiness on that path than you ever are on this other path where you're constantly chasing it, trying to find this happiness and recreate it through drugs and alcohol and nicotine and everything that you're doing wrong. The eating is it too, bro. Eating is an addiction just like the rest of them.
Bro, eating is the biggest addiction. More people die, more people get sick from the things that they eat than anything in the world. It's worse than heroin.
Yeah.
Like, the average American in the mid-1900s ate a half pound of sugar a year. Now, the average American eats 156 pounds of sugar a year.
That's so crazy.
Think about that, bro. And anxiety and depression and all these illnesses have never been as high. They've only grown right with whenever our food changed.
Yeah.
They've just grown right with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy, bro. Food is an extreme addiction. That's all it is. Sugar is the addiction. All you want to do is not eat sugar and not eat refined carbohydrates. You go to the grocery store, you shop in the outside section of the grocery store.
Yeah, don't go inside.
You prioritize your protein. You prioritize your protein. You eat fruits and vegetables.
Well, you should elaborate on that. I feel like because people probably don't know what that means. Shopping on the outside.
Yeah, you don't want to get anything that's man-made.
Well, people
like
don't
hot
understand.
Cheetos.
Listen, in a grocery store, right? If the grocery store was this rectangle, right, in the middle shelves here, that's everything that's man-made. Everything. And if you look at your grocery store, it's the same way. Because that's where you immediately
don't dumb it down for them. Listen.
On the outside,
if you're a watcher, if you're watching right now, what do you need to be? What do you need to eat? You need to eat these grapes, or you need to eat these hot Cheetos. Which one's man-made? I was trying to explain the outside. Which one's man-made? The hot Cheetos. You
heard it from
you got a piece of chicken. You got a piece of chicken, and you got a fruit roll-up. Which one's man-made? It's very simple. You eat whole foods that grow or walk around, and people need carbohydrates. There's carbs in everything, seeds, nuts and seeds, potatoes. Like there's plenty
all
of
vegetables are pretty much
everything.
Carbs.
Like you can, you are not. I promise you're not gonna die. All you're gonna do, you're gonna go through that phase, that withdrawal phase, and it's real. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I never realized how uncomfortable that life is if I don't eat a bunch of bullcrap. And you realize that's having withdrawal. Yeah. That's literally all it is. You're having withdrawal.
Brother, you're preaching.
As soon as you get through that, you don't feel it anymore. And it's so strange how people are like, oh, I'm gonna eat all this fast. I'm gonna have a Pop-Tart for breakfast. Like, what in the world? Understand that is killing you. That is decreasing your lifespan. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying there's no room for fun. I'm saying that consistently you cannot eat
breakfast.
Not even that. You cannot
breakfast
eat stuff like that. You cannot eat stuff like that. You have to eat real food. You have to eat eggs. You have to eat protein. You have to eat good fats. Fat is a scary word. You need to eat fat in order to burn fat. Your body needs to know what fat is so it knows how to burn it. Like, if you're not eating fat, it doesn't even know what to do with your fat because it doesn't know. It's not educated on that topic.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But my tummy hurts. I dropped enough knowledge on you chumps.
Well, all right, hang on. So the last thing I got is I normally do a quote, like a quote of the day. But I'm not going to lie, I'm underprepared. Now, I can probably find one real quick.
Your quote of the day or my quote of the day?
It can be yours. If you want to take this one, giving it to you if you got one that you want to give. If not, I'm sure that I can find one.
The evil is of no good when the good are unafraid.
All right, elaborate.
So evil can't creep in or affect your life if the good are unafraid of what's to come. So if you're worried about what's next in your life, you constantly worried that something evil is going to be in the way, that something's out to get you, that something ain't going to work out. Just know that it's not an option if you don't let it creep in and ruin what's going on right
Live
now.
in the moment type
The
shit.
evil is of no good when the good are unafraid. If you're unafraid of what happens next, all it is, it's not a roadblock, it's a speed bump. And and there is no one destination. Everything is transitory to the next.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You're just in transition constantly.
Yeah.
Nothing ever changes because nothing is ever the same.
I like that.
Like
Is that yours?
I got that from 101 Essays.
There you go.
Book I'm reading.
No, I know.
Yeah, so that part. But yeah, don't pay a debt that you don't owe yet. Don't be worried about something that ain't happened yet. Like,
yeah, cross that bridge when you get there.
Exactly. I constantly worry. Oh my God, am I gonna get invited to the Senior Bowl? Am I gonna make it to the Combine?
Yeah.
Am I gonna win this game? Am I gonna win that game? And everything worked out perfectly. So
That's
the same
dude,
stuff
that's
would
the
have happened.
Khabib stuff,
The
dude.
same
That's
stuff
what I'm
would have
telling you.
happened if I just didn't worry about that.
If you gotta trust in what you did.
Yeah, it was days I would just be like, man, I'm just laying in my bed today. I don't even want to get up.
Right.
I'm too nervous. I'm too worried about what's going on.
And then that also ties into the kind of thing of because you feel nervous, right? Why would I feel nervous when I could feel the complete opposite? And it's hard to flip your mind. That's the thing it's hard to control your mind like that. Your mind is so powerful. It's the most powerful tool that you have as a person, right? And it's like if you can use it to your advantage and flip that switch that Connor's talking about, or go the other way and do what Khabib's talking about and just come to the realization that it doesn't matter. Everything's pretty much already decided, and that the sun is still going to come up tomorrow, and that whether or not you win or lose the situation you're afraid of, life is going to be fine, and you will find another route to success if you work hard and keep living the way you live. If you live in the right way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's all a decision in the mind.
Yeah. It's
You
mental,
choose.
dude.
You choose how
Your
you
mind
feel
is the
about
most
it.
powerful tool you have.
Did I give you that Mojo book?
Mojo book.
Oh,
man.
okay, never mind. It just looked like it.
Nah, that says Pimp. That's Iceberg Slim. That's actually a great book, dude. You should read that. It's a good book. It's a good book. All right, well, hey, this has been Wyatt Wednesdays. Shout out Tyson Bagent. He's going to pick a song for y'all to listen to on the way out. Come again next time. Ram Nation, stand up.